You work harder than your neighbor, but he drives a better car. You studied more than your colleague, but she got the promotion. You launched the business, made the calls, stayed up late, but someone else closed the deal, and you wonder, what am I missing? Let me tell you what nobody wants to admit. Success is not fair. It does not reward effort equally. Two people can do the exact same thing, but one thrives while the other barely survives. And the difference is not intelligence. It is not connections. It is not even timing. The difference is invisible. It is the energy you carry. It is what I call your aura. Your aura is the emotional atmosphere that surrounds you before you say a single word. It is the vibe people feel when you enter a room. It is the silent message your presence communicates. And whether you know it or not, it is either opening doors or slamming them shut. You see, money does not care about your resume. Opportunity does not read your qualifications. People do not invest in your logic. They invest in how you make them feel. And that feeling, that instant judgment, that unconscious decision, it all comes from your aura. So if your aura broadcasts doubt, you will be doubted. If it whispers desperation, you will be avoided. If it screams insecurity, you will be overlooked. This is not opinion. This is law. Now here is where most people get confused. They think confidence is something you build after success. They believe you earn the right to feel powerful once you have proof. But that is backwards. Confidence is not the result of wealth. It is the reason for it. You must feel successful before the world calls you successful. You must vibrate abundance before your bank account reflects it. Because your external reality is always trying to catch up to your internal frequency. And if your internal frequency is stuck in fear, lack, and limitation, then no amount of hustle will save you. You will work yourself into exhaustion and still end up empty. Let me give you an example. Two people walk into the same investor meeting. Same pitch, same numbers, same opportunity. One leaves with funding. The other leaves with rejection. Why? Because one person walked in already believing they deserved it. Their aura said, "I am the solution you have been looking for." The other person walked in hoping to convince someone. Their aura said, "Please, give me a chance." And investors, clients, employers, they all feel that difference instantly. They do not need to think about it. They just know. One person feels solid. The other feels shaky. And money always flows towards solid. So the question is not, how do I get more money? The question is, how do I become the type of person money flows toward? And the answer is simple but not easy. You must train your aura. You must clean your frequency. You must remove every belief, every habit, every thought pattern that tells the world you are not ready. Because readiness is not about having all the answers. Readiness is about standing in your power, even when you do not. It is about walking into uncertainty with certainty. It is about holding your value steady while the world tests you. That is what separates those who break through from those who break down. Now let me be clear. Training your aura is not about pretending. It is not about faking confidence or pasting on a smile while your stomach twists with anxiety. That does not work. People feel through masks. They sense the gap between your words and your energy. And when there is a gap, they pull away. So you cannot fake this. You must become this. You must do the internal work that shifts who you are at the core. And that work begins with one brutal, liberating truth. You are not a victim of your circumstances. You are the creator of your frequency. Every morning you wake up, you make a choice. You choose what thoughts to repeat. You choose what emotions to rehearse. You choose what story to tell yourself about who you are and what you deserve. And those choices, repeated over days, weeks, months, they form the energetic signature that the world responds to. If you wake up and immediately scroll through problems, complaints, comparisons, and chaos, you are training your aura to broadcast struggle. If you wake up and spend even 5 minutes in gratitude, in vision, in alignment, you are training your aura to broadcast power. It is that simple. But simple does not mean easy. Most people resist this because it requires discipline. It requires you to stop blaming external conditions and start owning your internal state. It requires you to admit that maybe, just maybe, the reason things are not working is not because the world is against you, but because you are against yourself. You are sabotaging your own signal. You are blocking your own blessings. And you are doing it unconsciously, through the thoughts you think, the words you speak, and the emotions you feed. So if you want different results, you need a different frequency. And if you want a different frequency, you need different habits. Let me give you 3 daily practices that will begin to shift your aura immediately. First, morning recalibration. Before you check your phone, before you engage with the world, spend 3 minutes breathing deeply and asking yourself, who am I becoming today? Not who you were yesterday, not who others expect, but who you are choosing to be right now. Then declare it out loud. I am calm. I am certain. I am magnetic. Say it until your body starts to believe it. This is not affirmation for fun. This is identity installation. You are programming your nervous system to default to power instead of panic. Second, energy audit. Throughout your day, pause and ask, what am I feeling right now? If the emotion does not serve your vision, interrupt it. Do not let fear, anger, or resentment run unchecked. Breathe, reframe, redirect. You are the boss of your emotional state, not the other way around. This takes practice. But every time you catch yourself spiraling and choose to shift, you are strengthening your aura. You are proving to yourself that you are not controlled by circumstances. You control how you respond to them. Third, energetic pre-play. Before any important conversation, meeting, or moment, close your eyes and visualize it going perfectly. Feel the handshake, hear the yes, see the smile. Then step into that version of yourself. Move as if it already happened. Speak as if the outcome is guaranteed. This is not wishful thinking. This is frequency matching. You are aligning your energy with the result before the result shows up. And when you do this consistently, reality starts bending toward your expectation. Not because you are lucky, because you are aligned. Now I know what some of you are thinking. This sounds too simple. This sounds like fantasy. But let me ask you, what have you been doing that is working? Have your complaints brought you closer to wealth? Has your doubt opened doors? Has your fear attracted opportunity? No. So maybe it is time to try something different. Maybe it is time to stop waiting for permission and start giving yourself the power. Because nobody is coming to save you. Nobody is going to hand you the life you want. You must claim it. And you claim it by becoming energetically undeniable. Here is what most people do not realize. Your aura is always working. It never stops. Even when you are silent, it is speaking. Even when you are still, it is moving. It is transmitting a signal every single second of every single day. And that signal is either attracting what you want or repelling it. There is no neutral. You are either pulling opportunity closer or pushing it away. And the scary part is, most people are pushing without even knowing it. They wonder why nothing works. They wonder why doors stay closed. But they never look at the frequency they are broadcasting. They never examine the energy they bring into every interaction. Let me tell you a story. I once knew a man who could not keep money. Every time he made $1, something happened. A bill, an emergency, a betrayal. He worked hard. He was smart. But money slipped through his fingers like water. And one day, I asked him a question. What do you believe about money? He looked at me confused. So I asked again, when you think about having wealth, what feeling comes up? He paused. Then he said, guilt. He said, I feel like I do not deserve it, like it would make me greedy, like people would judge me. There it was. His aura was rejecting money before it even arrived. His conscious mind wanted wealth, but his subconscious mind was terrified of it. And the subconscious always wins, always. So we went to work. Not on strategies, not on business plans, on belief, on identity, on the internal frequency that was sabotaging everything. And within months, things shifted. Not because he worked harder, because he finally allowed himself to receive. He stopped apologizing for wanting more. He stopped shrinking to make others comfortable. He stopped treating success like a sin. And the moment his aura changed, his results changed. Money stopped running. It started staying. Opportunities stopped vanishing. They started multiplying because he became a match for what he wanted. And that is the secret nobody teaches you. You do not attract what you chase. You attract what you are. Now, let me address something important. Some of you are carrying wounds that are poisoning your frequency. Old rejections, past failures, childhood messages. Someone told you that you were not smart enough, not good enough, not worthy enough, and you believed them. You internalized that voice. And now it runs in the background of your mind, like a program you cannot shut off. It whispers when you try to dream bigger. It laughs when you think about success. It convinces you to play small, stay quiet, and settle for less. That voice is killing your aura, and until you silence it, you will never rise. So, how do you silence it? You replace it. You do not fight the old voice. You drown it out with a new one. Every single day. You speak truth over yourself. Not what you hope is true. Not what you wish was true. But what is true? You are capable. You are worthy. You are powerful. You are meant for more. And when the old voice argues, you do not debate. You just repeat the truth louder. This is not arrogance. This is survival. Because if you do not define yourself, the world will. And the world will always try to keep you small. It is safer that way. Predictable, controllable. But you were not born to be safe. You were born to be significant. Let me give you another layer. Your aura is shaped by association. Show me who you spend time with, and I will show you your future. If you surround yourself with complainers, you will complain. If you spend time with doubters, you will doubt. If you fill your circle with people who celebrate mediocrity, you will become mediocre. This is not judgment. This is energy law. You absorb the frequency of your environment. So if you are serious about wealth, about power, about breakthrough, you must become ruthless about your circle. Not cruel, but intentional. You must distance yourself from energy vampires, from those who drain your vision, from those who mock your ambition, because they are too afraid to chase their own. And yes, this will cost you relationships. Some people will not understand. Some will feel abandoned. Some will call you changed. Let them. Because the version of you that they loved was the version that stayed stuck with them. And you cannot carry people into a future they refuse to believe in. So release them with love. Wish them well. But keep walking. Your aura cannot afford dead weight. It cannot thrive in toxicity. It must be protected, nurtured, and surrounded by those who match or exceed your frequency. Find people who challenge you, who inspire you, who remind you what is possible when you stop making excuses. That is the environment where your aura becomes unstoppable. Now, let us talk about patience, because this is where most people quit. They start training their aura. They shift their thoughts. They change their habits. And then, nothing happens. A week goes by, a month, and they see no results. So they assume it does not work. they go back to the old frequency, back to complaining, back to doubt, and they wonder why life never changes. But here is the truth they missed. The shift is happening even when you cannot see it. Your aura does not change overnight. It changes in layers. And every day you show up, you are peeling back another layer of the old identity and installing a new one. But the external world does not shift until the internal work reaches critical mass. Think of it like boiling water. You can heat water to 99 degrees and nothing happens. It just sits there, warm but unchanged. But the moment you hit 100 degrees, everything transforms. The water becomes steam. It rises, it moves, it expands. That is what is happening inside you. You are heating up. And if you quit at 99 degrees, you will never see the transformation. So you must trust the process. You must stay consistent. You must keep showing up even when it feels like nothing is happening, because the universe is watching. It is testing your commitment. It is asking, do you really believe? Or are you just experimenting? And when it sees that you are serious, that you are not going to quit, that you are willing to become before you receive, that is when the floodgates open. Let me give you the final truth. Your aura is your greatest asset. It is more valuable than your resume, more powerful than your network, more important than your strategy, because everything flows from it. When your aura is strong, people trust you faster. Doors open easier. Opportunities find you without effort. You stop chasing and start attracting. You stop convincing and start commanding. You stop hoping and start knowing. This is not magic. This is alignment. This is what happens when your internal frequency matches your external ambition. And once you experience it, you will never go back. You will never settle for a weak signal again. So here is my challenge to you. For the next 30 days, commit to training your aura. Do the morning recalibration. Do the energy audit. Do the energetic pre-play. Protect your circle. Silence the old voice. Replace it with truth. And watch what happens. Watch how people start responding to you differently. Watch how opportunities start appearing out of nowhere. Watch how money starts flowing with less resistance. Not because you got lucky, because you finally became the person who was ready to receive it. You were not born to beg. You were not born to convince. You were not born to chase scraps. You were born to attract, to command, to overflow. But that version of you requires a different frequency. It requires an aura that has been trained, refined, and aligned with power. So stop waiting. Stop doubting. Stop playing small. The world is not going to give you permission. You must give it to yourself. And the moment you do, everything changes. Your presence becomes your power. Your energy becomes your advantage. And your aura becomes the magnet that pulls wealth, success, and opportunity into your life without effort. Train it, trust it, and let it work for you.